cameras are different today.
Ooh, what does that mean?
It means I put them in a spot that's a little bit... No, they're right behind you and they're in your wallet. Why did you look behind you?
I don't know. Because it's like a whole new thing.
I decided that this podcast would be better on YouTube if it was the back of Tony Hawk's head.
Sick.
Because you don't even know. It could be Lil Nas X.
I'm trying to drink tea before the show so I don't lose my voice again.
Good. I would appreciate that because I can't carry this myself, Tony, right?
I just have allergies and sometimes they kick in so hard that my voice cracks or I have to clear my throat all day.
Welcome to the show, by the way.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun hearing our ailments?
I mean, I feel like this is the show. Like
this is the show,
you might
yes.
have a guess, but every now
Yes.
what I said right before the mic was hot was probably the best thing that I'm going to say on the show.
What was that?
About trying to learn how to sing because
yes.
Steve Caballero, shout out to Steve Caballero, sent me a music video where I'm like, yeah, Tony, great, Stevie, you're in a punk rock. I know, I don't care, but I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool guitar. He's got his own skateboard as a guitar. And I'm like, cool. Still don't know why you would send me it. And then some asshole's singing a punk song and I'm like, I hate this kind of music.
I know this is not the conversation we had before this started.
But no,
go ahead.
let me finish.
Okay.
Then I see you and I'm like, wait, you're skating. Oh shit, you're the singer? Get fucked. Okay, now I'm going to listen to this whole fucking song. Usually I like right there I would have been like, cool skateboard, Stevie. Like, what the fuck?
Wait, so Cab sent it to you?
Yeah, today.
Does he want you to share it?
He didn't say, oh, was that?
That's probably what it was. I get it. I know the train of thought.
Nobody cares what I post anymore. I'm fucking gay and washed up.
You have value.
Okay. Not more than him. Like that's
Different audience.
Yeah. Okay, I'll post it.
Yes.
But what I wanted to
job.
say was your vocal ability in it. The first thing I text back to Cab was bullshit. Did Tony Hawk really sing that? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, dude, that is because there's some high notes in there.
Yeah, that one was the most challenging song I've done. I've done a few, like I did the Masked Singer.
Oh yeah, God,
I did the Jam song, but that one was really testing the limits.
Yeah,
and for sure. My brother-in-law Alan finessed some of the notes. Yeah, I mean, you can hear it. It's not auto-tune, but it's just it's a very slight adjustment.
Oh, okay, that's
because I can't like it. There's some almost operatic vibes in that song.
Totally. In the end, he goes high when it's like sometimes high makes more sense.
But the one I have is a don't thing. Contrast is a sin. That one was the hard one for me.
Yeah. I was like somebody else sang that for him, but you just proved it. You did it.
But
I was telling you,
I want to redo.
We are similar when it comes to singing because I am a singer in a band, but I'm not a singer. And, and the band got big and we did recordings and I recorded several albums and performed live around America, so stupid, and Canada. Not lying. I'm not lying. That's the crazy thing about that.
I remember. I was in one of the videos.
Oh, man,
I don't know if that was...
My daughter saw that for the first time the other day. She's like, you did a music video? And I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
And she was like, you were with Rob Dyrdek and Tony Hawk? And I was like, oh, yeah. Well, we were being funny, And she's like, yeah, real funny. I'm like, you don't think it was funny? She's like, I think it's funny that you and Rob Dyrdek rollerbladed. And I was like, okay, cool. But then I'm like, there's like...
Yeah, it's not a good look.
But my daughter listens to gangster rap from lesbians. So they say stuff, because I've listened to the stuff she listens to. Taint Stick's not rocking the boat.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I forgot the name. I forgot it was Taint Stick.
Dude, what about the name that it was Tony Hawk's Taint Stick? And then that was the first name.
I think I've erased all that from my memory.
Yeah, because we had to erase it from the world's memory because we were going somewhere and you were going the other way. And I was like, nah,
that was not going to work.
Together. I remember, I think it was your sister that said something about, he sells clothing in Kohl's. And I was like, I got you. I got what you're saying. No, she didn't even say don't change it. She said, do you know that your friend sells clothing in Kohl's? And I went, she's trying to tell me to change.
That seems like a lifetime ago, all that stuff.
It was.
It was.
We didn't, I still didn't have hair, but I didn't have children. You know, like all the
True.
things that I
Yep.
see now. I love new people that are in the kid game now. Like, and I'm like, I had it at a time where I shouldn't have had it. You know, it was an accident.
Yeah.
I'm happy that it happened, but I definitely wasn't planning for it. And if I had a plan for it, someone should have stopped me. Wasn't a good call. I hadn't grown up yet.
Right. Yes, absolutely. We've gone through a big transformation since then. Both of you and I.
But it does grow. It makes you grow fast. Even the most immature man can become an adult.
When we look back at that stuff, I'm glad we're not running for politics. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, you might be all right, but cool. I don't think I could be the governor of a trash can. But what was I saying? Oh, the singing thing with that, where I've got a professional singer, Christian Han, excellent, talented guy who made Death, Death, Die and Taint Stick, the band that it was like, you're gonna hit this high note. And I said, I can't. Like, I don't know how to do that stuff. And he's like, you can. Just keep going. So I'm in this booth, you know, like, wah, wah. I don't know how to do it, so I'm just making noises.
Did you have the track in your ear?
I'm not tone deaf. I know. I can hear it. It just...
That helps me a lot. It was hard. It was hard when they would send me just the instrumentals, which is what happened here. And I wasn't listening to the original track or someone else doing vocals on it. Okay. That helps me a lot.
Yeah, because then you can get the harmony.
Yeah.
Right.
But go ahead, sorry.
Oh, well, it just got to the point where it was so embarrassing and I was legitimately angry at him because he wouldn't let me out of the booth.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm telling you, I can't do it. You know? And he's like, almost. And I'm like, is it? Because it sounds like I'm just going.
What is he looking at? Some sort of meter reading, like Rock Band?
He just knew that I was doing something because I've had vocal lessons now, and I do have a lot of range in my voice. But you don't if you're not trained,
right?
You just can't. I'm doing
and the breathing too. That's super hard to learn.
I'm doing all the wrong things to get the high note. Like I think I'm coming out of my head, like I'm gonna go and it's not. It's like you're just doing a thing with your vocal cord to get it high, but it took hours, and then I had maybe 15 minutes of it because then I blew it out because I found it and I was like screaming it and I was like, I've got it, and then all of a sudden and then I just lost my voice because
that's what
I wasn't doing it right.
At the end of our recording session, so that the song he's talking about is No Cigar by Millen Collin. We did it with Cab and with the guy who wrote the song from Millen Collin. Darren Pfeiffer, Mikey and his uke. Anyway, by the end of the session, Alan, who is my brother-in-law, who's an awesome musician, incredible bass player, he's got a recording studio. So he's the one to do my vocals. And by the end of it, he's like, we should probably do the whole thing again because your voice is a little bit more raspy now, but it's hitting the notes better. So there's like an Iggy Pop thing happening. So let's just do the whole song again. I was like, okay. But
well, now that we've talked about singing, and it's time for me to shut down the singing show because I have the story of stories when it comes to singing in a song where you don't really know and someone pulls you in and all of a sudden you're in a music video. Do you know who Anne H is?
Yes.
Right. So Anne and I are good friends. Anne's crazy. And that's how Anne and I sort of linked. She came on my show once and I think Tully was like, yeah, Jason's like all kinds of messed up, like, you know, things that happened in his childhood. And she's like, me too. And now it's just like, yeah, we don't know what's happening to us.
Chaos brings us together.
Yeah, it did. Yep. So we started hanging out, which is a really weird combo, you know, like Anne H and Jason Ellis don't look like they would hang out, but we really did. So we've been bros for a while. She once went in a race car with me and I won a race with her in the passenger seat.
Awesome.
She will do anything. She's like, I'm in. Do you think I'll die? And I'm like, nah, we'll make it. We'll be fine. I'm in. And I'm like, that was a lie. Like, I don't know. I probably crashed. I
have crash cars.
I'm a 50-50 when I either win or I crash. So I was lying. But anyway, so years pass. She hits me up recently and goes, I want you to sing a duet with me. And I'm like, you sing? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. And she's like, I've got a recording artist. I've got all these people and we're going to make a music video. And I'm like, Anne H is a Hollywood actress. Yeah. She does know all these people. Come to this house and we'll record. I don't really know what's happening. It was right in the middle of the heart thing where I hadn't found out what my condition was and I was having panic attacks on the regular. And I drove out there. I can't drink. I don't like being around heavy drinkers. Anne drinks a lot. I don't like cigarettes. They kind of panicking me, and I sure as hell don't like cocaine. I don't like it being near me. I don't like.
You're pulling in the trifecta.
Yeah, and this, in my opinion, had all three involved in it. So as soon as I walk into the house, I'm like, fuck. You know, and it's like, hey, how's it going? We're gonna sing some songs. And I'm like, there's a boulder in your nose. What are we doing here? And like right away, I'm like, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. You know, just breathe. You'll make it. So it's Islands.
You don't know what song it is.
Islands in the Street. Islands in the Street, but she wants to call in the stream, but she wants to call it Islands in the Street because it would have made sense because we raced on a car. And I'm like, the car was on the dirt. And she's like, well, let's just do Islands in the Street.
She's reconfiguring the song so that it's about your driving?
Even though it's all the same lyrics except for the hook. Instead of Islands in the Stream, it's Street.
That must have been a powerful race.
Yeah,
had a big impact on her.
Yes, I did influence her. But anyway, so this starts where I start singing it with her in this room with her guitarist guy who might have been high energy, and and they're like, okay, go. You know, I'm the bearded guy that sings that. Like it's Dolly Parton and.
Oh, I don't know.
Kenny Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm Kenny Rogers. I could be the man. And she's like, and I'm like, okay, we're singing this song. And then this camera guy shows up. And it's like.
You guys got to harmonize too.
Yeah. Dude.
I just realized. I was like, oh, yeah, I do know that song. That's a lot of harmony.
With no training from both, she can't sing at all. Neither can I. Like enough to be confident enough to loudly fuck up a tune. So they're like, yeah, go in the backyard and sing together. So now I don't have an acting background, you know.
So wait, are they shooting the music video at the same time as the
before we recorded? They're making this the music video. So we haven't recorded the track yet. Right. That's another day where I have to come back.
Oh, so you're just going to lip sync or do...
We're not lip syncing, we're singing it. There's no lip syncing.
They're not using that vocal track though?
No.
Okay. But you're preparing.
Yes.
And you're trying to get it right.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm in this backyard with her, you know, Islands in the Street. And then this dude comes out. He lives there. And he's not a part of it. He's just got like pajama pants on. And he just comes out and lights a cigarette. And it's just watching me sing Islands in the Street.
He's like the dude.
Yeah, and I'm like,
far out, man.
And Anne is like, you know, you and that, you know, and like, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of love you too. Like, I'm a skateboarder. I don't know. Like, wait, are we getting passionate with each other? Like, and she's super high energy, and her nose is right near my nose.
Star is born.
And I'm like, if that touches me, I could die. Like, Islands in the Street. Fuck me, man. Just so uncomfortable. And then I get out of there, like, because they're like, stay a bit longer. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. They're like, oh, do it down the corridor singing it. Do it in the bedroom. Come up into my bedroom and sing it in my bedroom. He's got stains all over the bed. It's stinky. It's
the dude's bedroom. I keep thinking it's Anne's place.
It's got high energy stuff on the table.
Oh my God.
And a big German shepherd that keeps trying to sniff my groin. And it's like, now sing on the bed. And I'm like, I'm going to sit on the bed. And I'm like, sitting on the high
it's
energy.
Like Burt Reynolds' house in Boogie Nights.
Dude, and I'm sober as the cleanest of clean. And the cigarettes are putting me off, let alone the rest of it. And it's like, and now I'm looking out the window because I'm in love with Anne in the islands of the street. And then I'm like, okay, well, I think we've done it enough. And they go, okay, one more. Anne wears your clothes and you wear her dress. And I was like, what does that have to do with anything? And then I realized that this guy is, you know, this is if you're an actor or that's what you're supposed to be easily molded. And I was supposed to just go, well, yeah, that makes sense. So I don't do that. And I go, I got to go. Okay, everybody. Jason Ellis and Tony Hawk here talking about Feels, CBD. Ever heard of it? It's a fast growing thing these days. People that are athletes, people that are suffering from stress, anxiety, finding it hard to go to sleep. You've probably done some Googling and figured out that CBD is a thing that can help. It's only getting better these days, and Feels has some of the finest CBD money can buy. Inflammation-wise, to me, or if I'm really tired, I want to get up and I know I have to do more, I will use this Feels. So they actually sent me stuff. I'm a CBD connoisseur. I've taken every kind that anyone's ever given to me because I don't flinch that stuff, and their one really works. So it's handy, and I recommend it. CBD keeps your head clear. It does a lot of things. You could just Google it, or you could take my word for it. Wait a minute. Become a member today by going to feels.com/Hawkwolf, and you get 50% off. I mean, I already got it for free, so I guess I win, but 50% off is freaking good. I don't know why I'm getting that excited. I got free ones at home. Off your first order, sorry to rub it in, everybody. Feels, FEALS.com/Hawkwolf to become a member and get 50% off automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. Feals.com/Hawkwolf. Hey everybody, Jason Ellis, Tony Hawk, Hawk versus Wolf here talking about MintMobile. I use it myself. because they sponsored the Jason Ellis show, I have a MintMobile phone that I use for the actual show. And I obviously have my own phone. My kids have phones as well, and it works as good or better, I guess. I get it serviced down in the bottom of my studio every day. No one's ever called me, and I don't hear them clearly. So
you don't get the...
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think I get it on my phone more, and I haven't figured out. I think it's time. I think I might be kicking my phone out the door and just getting Mint, because here's the deal. Because it's ridiculously cheaper. They've got the thing is they don't sell retail, so they cut that middleman out, and that's why you can get a $15 a month phone, which is pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you get your wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Hawk.
What's up?
No wolf. MintMobile, no what's up. Okay. That's mintmobile.com/Hawk. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month. I mean, in these days, these times, and you're like looking at
awesome.
Yeah, like people are like, oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. You could afford a lot more of other stuff if you
considering how much you're on your phone too.
Yeah, wow. So check them out. We'd appreciate it at mintmobile.com/Hawk. Then I have to come back to do the recording, and I'm dreading it. I tell my wife, I just went through so much shit, you don't have no idea. I go there, and now it's even more. There's a closed glass booth, and he's smoking right next to the microphone and saying,
who's he?
This guitarist guy that's high energy.
Up tempo.
He's up tempo a lot. I don't think he sleeps a lot, and he looked like he got dark. It's all the things that I know that I don't want to be around. No offense to him. You know what I mean? Live your life. But me, I'm the unfortunate one that finds it really uncomfortable to be in that scenario. I think other people would be like, whatever, they're having fun. I was like, I'm too much of an addict, or it's just too much. So, and the cigarette is just, I'm like, dude, I really don't like cigarettes, but I don't say it. I just do it. So I do the song. I realize he's like recording the same track over the top, so he's not recording it correctly. So now I can hear all the voices that I sang before over the top of my voice singing and ends.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, this isn't going to work. I do it. I leave. I do a show where I talk about it. Anne finds out and flips out on me. And I'm like,
really?
Am I? Yeah. She's like, oh, we got a bone to pick. Like, that's not exactly how it went. And I was like, I left stuff out.
Right.
Like at one point, I specifically was like, hey.
So why are you bringing it up again?
Because it was the most uncomfortable singing thing. No,
but I mean, like, is she going to be bummed that you're talking
I
about
will
it
fight
again?
you any
it's
day.
All out there.
Anne she wants to come on the show next week.
Really?
Every week she's been planning on coming on the show. Eventually, when she does, we're going to have it out again. And I'll say, not only did I bring it up on my show, but I talked about it on Hawk versus Wolf.
It's a great story.
And he thinks that you're crazy too. I'm just going to make that up.
I can't say I don't think she's crazy. I think it's a fascinating story, and for sure, people in her orbit might be a little crazy.
Right.
And so
I think to me, she's a go-getter who it's sometimes
I did hang out with her and Dennis Rodman in Mammoth bowling.
Beat me. Go.
But I didn't
keep going.
What's that?
Keep going. And there you were with Dennis Rodman and H and I lose. I was singing and smoking cigarettes.
But you had a far more fulfilling. Not fulfilling, but
rather hang out with
you had a deeper experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine was it was the Mammoth Celebrity Bowling, and I was on the same team as Dingo.
Right. I saw that.
Which was awesome. And then
love the Dingo.
Anne was on the same team as Dennis Rodman, who were bowling in the lanes next to us. And it was during the Mammoth Film Festival, and they had the documentary about the video game. So that's why I went to support that. By the way, that's not my documentary. It's a good documentary, but people think it's mine. It's called Pretending I'm a Superman.
Well, covered. You covered
Disclaimer.
it. Good.
Got that right. So Dingo and I were having, our kids were there, and we're having a blast, and we were killing it. I have never bowled so well.
Okay.
And he just keeps bringing whiskeys, and we're partying and bowling, and all of a sudden we see our scores like double everyone else's.
Yeah.
Like we are unbeatable.
Yeah. Anne's probably thrown it the other way, right?
I didn't really watch her, but at one point, Rodman was like, it hurt my knee or wrist or something. Fully like...
He pulled out. He didn't leave, did he?
He didn't leave, but he sat back and didn't bowl anymore.
Because it was such a bad team and he didn't want to lose because he's such a competitor?
I don't know.
I saw your face. That's what you think.
I was like, Dennis Rodman is like one of the heaviest, gnarliest basketball dudes ever, defender. Got rocked all the time. And I was like, what injury could have happened during this bowling tournament?
And H.
That's the injury.
He was like, I quit. It's getting crazy over here.
And what's her name? Dang, I forgot her name. She's so awesome. The Aussie.
The bigger girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw Dingo was hanging out with her. The comedian chick, man, we're both sucky for that.
She's awesome.
Really funny.
Yeah.
She's fucking gigantic star, and we both don't remember her name. She's a countryman, Jason. No, sorry.
It's on you.
Yeah, okay,
you should remember. I only met her once.
Yeah, no, I suck. You win. Damn it. That one's going to just ring in there for the...
We'll get it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that happened. And then, Dingo and I won the trophy. And
I saw that because Dingo posted heavily on it. You were not so proud. Dingo was incredibly proud.
Oh, I was proud. I was hyped.
Posting it. Notice.
Oh, yeah.
Dingo was like, different angles of your victory. Like, I was like, whoa, you hung out with Rodman and the girl that we don't remember because we're assholes. Come on, name, just pop in there. But did you have an interaction with Anne? Like an actual...
only beforehand.
Okay.
But it was friendly. But it was...
Did she...
I didn't sing with her.
Right. She pitched a show once with me. We pitched a TV show together. And she had this is one of the most exciting things. I was like, we're not getting this show, but this is probably one of the coolest things to witness ever. Anne's got friends that are high up in TV and whatnot. She's Anne. So she's like, yeah, Jason and I want to do a show where it's like Dr. Drew, like Loveline, but us. And I was like, I'm in, Anne. Whatever you want to do, I'm in because you're my friend. And she's like, well, pitch it to this network. And I'm like, wow, okay, sure. We go. It's a big table, bunch of network people there. She comes in, she's got a skirt on and a cashmere sweater. And she's cracking a Red Bull and she just firing. And she's like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And whack, and just slaps the table super hard. And I'm like, everyone kind of jumps a little bit. She's like, Jason's going to go, this is this, we're going to do that. And then she sits back on a chair and she leans back like that and snaps the back of the chair.
Oh my God, that's a movie. That's a movie scene.
So it's like this plastic goes, crack, crack, crack. And she's like, whoa. So anyway, what do you guys think? And she does that and she's got giant pit stains.
At least she made an impression.
And I'm like, this is, because she's like, wah, and then we're going to do it, and wah, and what do you guys, and I'm like, you are flying, like you are on fire. And they're like, what are you going to do, Jason? And I'm like, does it matter? Did you not see that? I kept looking at him because some of them were old friends, and I'm like, is he you know, like, how long does he know? Is he cool? Am I in trouble for being in the room? And
Wow.
And no, you're not having a show, but wow, good to see you. And I was like, that was incredible. You're a beast. Like, she's such a little girl, but she was a monster.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what a Hollywood, you're like, that's what you have. The camera loves you because you're a fucking beast of a person. This little girl that's like 100 pounds.
Yep.
That I felt the energy in the whole room. Like, I was just sitting back. She took whatever I was going to say and ate it. Like, when they asked me, like, you know, do your little dance, Jason, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'll hang out.
I've been to so many pitch meetings, not high energy like that, but where you just know everyone's tuned out.
Yeah,
No, it's not going to happen. Like, just cut us loose.
I pitched one with you, a show with you and I and Bam, and you weren't there, and Bam brought his side piece. I guess it was like somebody behind I wasn't supposed to know. And I didn't care either. And he seemed like he was wasted, and he was texting in the pitch. And I was like,
good luck.
I was like, you have a Lamborghini, and I am trying to get a Lamborghini, and you're fucking this whole thing, and you don't care. And I was like, man, Jeff Tremaine was like, it'd be a better idea if you got these two to come with you. And I was like, one isn't here, and the other one is here, but he isn't here as well. And the girl was like, what'd she say? One of the ladies was like, just not paying attention. She was like, oh, yeah, skateboarders, they're real personalities. And I was like, you said that we're not entertaining, and I'm pitching a show. This is bad. This is a bad look. But it was such a burn. I remember that whole thing because it was the Dick House people were doing a show with me involved. So I just figured when you get to the pitch,
you've already got a leg up,
right?
If Dick House is behind it,
right?
Absolutely.
So I couldn't help getting my hopes up.
Yeah. And
then when it didn't work, it was a bar. And
because I've been to pitch meetings where you're coming in with a production company that is just trying to get started or had a semi-hit.
Right, because I've done that.
Pitching it to legit Netflix, Amazon.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
I
don't know. And then I've been the other side where people have established really good work where it's already known, and you still know it's not going to happen. Like it's very I don't want to say degrading, but it is. I mean, you get to feel like you're just like, oh, why
it's not on purpose, but it is.
Yeah.
It's like actors because I don't have a lot of experience with it, but when I was when I had an agent, Steve Astafin, shout out to you, Steve. But I got, he was like, they want you to try out for a movie. And I was like, what? And then all of a sudden I'm in front of a screen and there's these people saying, can you do a little raspier? And I'm like, I've been working on kickflip indies. I didn't even know the role until I walked in here. Like that, I don't care at all. And I don't even really what raspy. You be raspy. Who is this guy telling me to be raspy? You know what I mean? I'm so far away from being an actor that I don't like this dude's attitude. Like he thinks I'm going to be like, oh yes, mister. What about that? Like instead I was like, the fuck is this guy telling me how to do shit? Hey, but I remember every time I would go, I was like, wow, note to self, don't go to those.
Right.
Unless you've got a gift, like you show up and you go, ba-da-da, ba-da-da, because this is my gift, and you're going to go, okay. But it reminded me of TV pitching where.
Yeah, tryouts is a different thing. Tryouts is more that you know it's a cattle call. You know that you're there with 100 other people and whatever, and there's a very slim chance. When you're pitching a show and you've had encouragement or optimism about it, especially on the side.
I know, you're right.
Especially on the side of the studio that's going to buy it.
Yeah.
Be it Warner Brothers or whatever. That's when you come in and you're like, oh, this is happening. Right. This is going to happen. And then you watch it just start to fade in front of your eyes. And it doesn't matter how good the idea is. They've already decided when you walk in, I don't want a show about skaters. I want.
Right. Yeah, some of them will say it. And the weird thing about here.
The weird thing about being on my side of it is that I'm not going to say every time, but there were a few times where it was clear that they just wanted me to be in the room to sign some skateboards or whatever.
And no,
that was the ruse.
Right.
Yeah. And then I was just like,
All right, everybody. Ellis Mate here. My favorite sponsor for Hawk versus Wolf and the Jason Ellis Show. A thing that my wife likes as well. It's Blue Chew. They're a great thing that you can order. Tony's just looking at me. They're fun. Look, I've had a prescription because I had heart medicine that was playing around with it a little bit. And at one point it was kind of bad and I did have to use them. But once I started using them, I realized that you can make it hold a lot of towels. I don't know how to do it without being rude. It's
a lot of towels.
You ever try to hold a lot of towels? Blue Chew does the trick. I can hold a lot of wet towels with Blue Chew. Man, sorry. It really works, and it's super.
It's
a good commercial.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not lying.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. That's what I'm saying. It's not like you're just pulling some out of the air or reading a script.
Yeah, no, that's from the heart, baby.
Somewhere.
Yes. Anyway, you can get a free consultation. You talk to somebody, and then they figure out what's the one for you, and then they send it in a little envelope, like there's no big names on it or anything. So it's all under the radar, and they're at your house, ready to go whenever you need them. They're very convenient, and they work. They've got the same stuff in them that the ones that they have that everyone knows about. It's got that in there. So yes, that's.
You are killing it with this one.
I really love the product.
Yeah, I understand.
I would wear their t-shirt. Yeah, they don't make them.
You're walking the walk.
But there's a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free, everybody. Use the promo code HawkWolf at checkout and just pay $5 for shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code HawkWolf to receive your first month completely free. Do you know how many boners are in that delivery? It's a lot of bones. And it's free. Just $5 shipping. We'd like to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Dude, the worst one is all the shows that we're going to do.
It's so discouraging, though.
The Cossack made a mistake and texted me and said, "You're picked up. A&E won it." And I was on the radio and I was like, yes, fuck everybody. I was doing the Conor McGregor. Yep. Never liked you anyway. Fuck you. And then all of a sudden, like a couple of hours later, it's like, oh man, I got that wrong. My bad. Yeah, we're still pitching it. And then it eventually didn't
I've had so many sure things.
And I was so bummed
at Cossack
for that.
This
wasn't his fault.
We are working on production schedules. Greenlit. We're going
we got the budget. When I learned that.
You're free in June, right? June. This is happening.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
They kill you when they do that.
One fell apart. One was actually felt like it was much more.
This is Hawk versus Wolf right now. Like you're going to tell me
what's that?
How many bad TV
so many.
And I'm
so many.
Too.
But there was one that looked like it was going to get over the hump.
Yeah.
And I was working on with Keith Huffnagel.
Ooh.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Awesome dude, one of my favorite dudes ever. And he and I were going to these meetings, and then the guy that was organizing it, we could tell was starting to unravel.
Unravel is in like pressures of life.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To the point where it fell apart. It just fell apart.
Dropped the whole ball and they wouldn't run with it because of him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Far out.
But at some point I was relying on his word. And maybe I shouldn't have, because his word, and he had he was very successful. He was well established in this business. And it was like, if that guy's behind it, if he says it's happening, it's probably going to happen.
Right.
And then things just.
Yeah. The last one was the Fuel TV thing where I had Ellis Mania was on Fuel TV and they were like, we like you so much and Ellis Mania is doing so well that we want to give you a reality show. You're going to do whatever you do and all that. So I started filming, going to Fox, and having meetings about what I'm doing next and who's going to be writing stories for me and all this stuff. And it was months and months. And then it got bought and turned into Fox Sport, and Dana White was like, that guy's got to go.
Wow.
And then I was wasn't greenlit. It was in the middle of being made. I'm like, wait, you can do that? And they're like, dude, they can do anything.
Oh my God. The industry is so cannibalistic. You're just, you're like, oh, this is all happening. No, you're out.
Yeah.
And that thing that you were working on that probably you gave a lot of the ideas for is still happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the other thing, right?
See ya, bro.
Yeah. No, there's a couple ideas I saw. Yeah, I won't go there.
Yeah, wham.
I've
Poor
seen
us.
Yeah. You know what? I know.
We didn't get the big movie.
I know.
That one project,
I'm not
though,
saying that it crushed me and I never survived from these.
No.
I'm just saying you guys would like to hear some stories about what it's like to pitch TV shows with maniacs, or it's fucking entertaining, whether it's sad or where it's good or bad. It's very entertaining to be in the room.
But it's such a time suck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're just endless meetings and
for
so many
you-
people. No one will say no. That is the most frustrating. Just say no.
Yeah. Right?
They don't want to say no. They want to lead you on, and then you think you have this false hope. I mean, I learned it a long time ago. I learned a long time ago not to believe any of it. Yeah. But at some point, especially if you're new to it, you're like, what? Yeah? Another meeting? Oh, awesome. We're next stage. Here we go.
I feel like TV pitches have taught me to, like the guy from Pivot that was like, we want to get you a car when you're in Utah. And I was like, I'll believe it when I'm driving down the road. And
that's my attitude. Exactly.
But
it happened.
TV did it. I was driving around the road in it. But hey, when I started driving the road.
But also, I think that's also kind of a good philosophy for life, where if
people
are offering you or promising you something, do not believe it at face value.
Yeah.
And if it happens, it's a nice surprise.
There's a catch to that though, because I feel like you and I, if you want something to happen, if you want to achieve a goal, you believe that it's happened before it's happened.
Sure.
So sometimes I get those crossed.
Yeah, there's something to be said for optimism and for continuing to believe in it.
I know this show's going to get picked up.
Yeah. But I'm not. But what I'm saying is when people make you when it's on someone else to provide something.
Yes,
that's what I'm talking about.
Don't expect it.
Where it's like don't think that it's a closed deal.
Agreed.
And it's a done deal. And then when it happens, you're like, sick.
No, completely.
You're driving the I-8.
Yeah. No, when I was like, the door opened and I put my bag in the seat, I was like, oh, we're definitely driving this.
Yeah.
By the way,
I've told the story before, but when they want to do a Space Jam sequel, which is like 2003.
Oh, you have the winner of, oh God, I completely.
I went to a meeting that it was so definitely on that everyone from the studio was in the meeting. They told me I was getting $1 million up front. Like there was no question this was happening. And I went to Australia and I came home and no one returned calls.
Not even to tell you it's over, just no return.
No, I had to finally pull it out of my agent. Like, what is going on with that? And they had a lot of high hopes for that movie Back in Action. And that was going to establish the Looney Tunes back as movie stars. Yeah. And then they were going to do this. And Back in Action didn't do the numbers that they thought it would. And I've since kind of gone over all the details of this. Back in Action didn't do that terribly. Yeah. It just didn't blow up like Space Jam.
Yeah.
But because it didn't make all their money right away, they were like, we're not putting money into Skate Jam. But we had an outline of a script. We had which characters I was going to interact with. It was drawings.
I feel like that would have cost a lot of money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then just nothing.
Oh, you mean to cost a lot of money just for just that process?
Yeah, like to get all you guys together and to agree to all this.
Yeah, I mean it was a few meetings. But it was so urgent and pressing that they met. I was going to Australia to do a cameo in this movie called Deck Dogs. Look it up. You'll think it's funny. It's ridiculous. Did you ever see that? Deck Dogs.
No.
It was an independent movie made in Australia, but they offered me a part in it and an executive producer role. And I thought the script was like different and kind of offbeat enough that I was like, yeah, why not?
Who are you in it?
I'm me.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm sort of the inspiration for one of the characters. And he catches me skating Maroubra alone.
Yeah.
So that's the big end scene is that he catches me in Maroubra, like just kind of on my own cruising. And then we have this moment, but.
You think you did all right?
Yeah, it was fine. But I mean, the movie's silly.
Right.
I get it. Like a lot of people were just like, dude, Deck Dogs. I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
It's like kind of a cult classic.
Yeah, okay.
In that sense.
It's an Australian movie.
Yeah.
Man, how dare I not know that?
Corbin was an extra. I found out later.
Of course he was.
Anyway, I went to go shoot that. It was just like this weird culmination of timing where it was like, we're going to do Skate Jam. You're going to Australia to shoot a movie. When you get back from shooting that movie, we're going to plan for Skate Jam.
It's a happening
year. This is crazy. Like, movies. And then I got home and nothing, there was no word, nothing. Finally, I called my agent and then he's like, they just said that they don't have the right numbers, momentum to do this anymore. And that was it.
Yeah.
Wham.
I know.
Good story, though.
It is a good story. That's what you want to take from it. It's a good story. Dude, kicks in the dicks make life. That's what it's all about. Like, I'm in the middle of it right now. For sure.
And it makes you more well prepared for what's to come, because that disappointment is just like, it could be crushing. It could be like you bet everything on it and then it's gone. But if you're prepared for that to not happen, you're fine.
Yeah, it's invigorating is the word that comes to mind. As much as I don't want to be invigorated sometimes, the facts is still, like when SiriusXM was like, hey, we don't have the money anymore. Right. I was like, we were just talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger coming in for my 15th year anniversary, and I was jumping through a wall and landing in the middle of the studio. Wow, that really flipped around. But it's exhilarating. I'm like, it's not over. It's all up for grabs again.
For sure. Yeah.
And it's not like your show's so big that it's smooth sailing. It's not. It's Never. Like your show was pretty big, but you got to do it all over again. I'm like, I don't have many battles. Like this is my battle. This is my life battle. I got, I want to make a kickflip indie. Those are enjoyable battles. This one is like, my livelihood and my whole career, but it's still, it makes me wake up in the morning and go, what are you going to do? What'd you do today? Yeah. For a while there, I was like, I'm sure I did something great, but now I go, when was the last time I looked at my Instagram?
Oh, no, I woke up this morning, thought, okay, we're going to record a show. And right from there, I'm going to do this, and pick up my daughter with this. And for sure, it's the same where it's just like the hustle doesn't stop because you want these things to succeed and you want to carry them through. That's how I feel. I know our podcast numbers aren't stellar, but I want to see this through. It's fun. It's awesome. I love it. And I think more people would enjoy it. So let's keep at it.
I'm only new to podcasting, but it's sort of like it's a slow build. And it's just a lot of positivity from this one. Like everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Everybody is really, really nice and really, really excited about it. And it has brought out a lot of people that I haven't talked to in a long time. That makes me feel really cool about. I love the podcasting thing. Australia listens to me now because SiriusXM didn't do that.
Oh yeah.
So now all my Australian friends that I grew up with, my brother's friends,
they're gonna be really mad. I can't remember her name.
Oh, I never forget the Burnout King. I don't have to know his name.
No, the actress.
Oh, her? She's not listening. She's nowhere. Dingo could tell her, maybe, I guess.
What was I going to say? Oh, I'm not segueing. I'm just going into, we did Vert Alert last weekend. Yeah. And I'm trying to keep the things timely in the show as best we can because I know a lot of times the show comes out late.
Yep.
So Vert Alert was awesome.
It was amazing.
Ellis did all the live emceeing for the crowd at the arena. And
thanks for that gig, by the way. That was
fun.
An honor and one of those things where I was like, you're back. And these dudes from the old era, that Friday night demo.
So we
was
did
magical. Dude.
So we did a demo Friday night. The whole event, the whole competition, the pro competition was Saturday, men's and women's and best trick. But
that's Saturday night, where people don't have jobs and they can have all the time they want to get down to the stadium.
Yeah.
But Friday night
was the Legends demo,
and there was 10 times as many people there.
For me, it was just sort of not an afterthought, but it was like a bonus thing. It was a fun thing. Like, who can make it?
Right.
I hope Cab can come. I hope Hosoi can come, and like Bucky and Bob and whoever. And it was I just sent out the invite, like kind of a mass email, not email, but I sent out a bunch of invites, just hoping something would land. And before we knew it, we had Cab and Hosoi and Bob Burnquist and Sandra Diaz. And Mike Frazier.
Amazing.
Lincoln Ueda.
Yep.
Who else?
Who got allergies right at the demo. Kevin Staub.
Kevin Staub. I have the list. Anyway, it was a stellar lineup.
Cookie Head Jenkins.
Cookie Head, yep. The thing that was missing was obviously a female pro, and I invited all the girls that I consider legends of Vert, but there aren't many.
Yeah.
And they were all busy, unfortunately. I really wanted Lindsay to come because she can just kick into Vert mode.
That's crazy.
And she's the first female doing McTwist.
That's right.
But anyway,
she's got kids pretty busy, right?
she was at a thing with Travis.
Travis, he's pretty busy too.
He's very busy. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, hey.
I saw Ken Block after the Vertler. I went up to his house to have dinner with him, and he had just come from a race where Travis won and he got second. And they seem like they go racing a lot.
Yes.
Like around the world nonstop.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's their life. I get it. But anyway, that, like I said, there was a glaring omission from the Legends Jam. But when we walked out and Andy McDonald.
Oh, there you go.
Legend. I always think of Andy as still being a pro. So it's hard for me
because he doesn't count. Him and Sandra, I'm like, what are you guys doing in this demo?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why don't you go win the contest?
To an extent where it's like, you're kind of in the newer generation. Yeah, you're not really
I know,
old enough.
I'm older than Cookie, but whatever. Yeah. He's a legend.
He is a legend.
That's all it meant.
But yeah, so right, Andy too. And even Bucky, I mean, like Bucky, he walks the line.
No, he can win a contest. So you're a legend as well.
But holy shit, Bob.
Yeah.
So we walked out and the place was on fire.
Yeah.
The stands were full, and all of the street league skaters had come over from their
halfway
prelims,
through they packed it.
And they were more excited than anyone. It was almost like there was this whole contingent of street skaters that had never seen vert skating.
I talked to Kareem Campbell, who I hadn't seen in 15 years, and we fucking broed down hard because he was like, no way. And I'm like, no way. And he was still coming off the hype of watching Christian Asoi do a 3-foot cross there. And I'm like, this is this world. I thought that they were gone, the people that would have respect for the people that are in their 50s and doing the best that they can at their stuff. We're talking, they made the ground shake for Steve Caballero, who did a Caballerial, but half an hour before he made the Caballerial, he couldn't do a fucking rock to fakie because he hadn't skated at vert ramp enough yet. And he was like, oh, wow, looks like right now a Caballero would make this place go crazy, but I can't do a rock to fakie. Yeah. So in the middle of the demo, he supercharged rock to fakie. I don't say, that might have been the first rock to fakie in like 10 years because it was.
It was, yeah.
And then eventually he makes a Caballero that's
he tore the place down. He made a Caballero. The place went crazy.
Lost it. In respects to how long he's been around. Yes, he invented the trick, but it just seemed like everybody there was from an era of they seemed like surfers. Like
there were a lot of parents in the crowd who skated in their youth, knew us from those days, and brought their kids who skate now.
Who respected it as well.
Yeah, or at least have an idea of what the contributions of all these skaters were to the sport. And then they were all equally excited.
Yeah.
And we all, a Caballero is a standard trick. It's a legendary trick, but it's not standard. It's a trick that everyone knows, respects. And here comes Steve Caballero, the inventor of the trick, doing it for the first time, trying it for the first time in years.
All right.
And then he pulls one. It was so awesome.
Yeah. I mean, just to see how much.
And then it's like Sandro and Andy and I, we're all doing our Huck Jam routines.
Right.
So they love that because that's more like a show thing.
Cab's already got him on this hype from the Caballero. Yeah. So anything you're doing now is everybody was 10 times more supportive of you guys than they usually were. I felt like we all were like, this ain't singing a song or playing a guitar. These guys are fucking skateboarding, man, in their 50s. Yeah. And they're still flying around. And I'm used to people not understanding how hard it is. It seemed like everybody in Utah were like in awe of how incredible you all were. And I was like, yeah. That's what I've been really saying. Cool.
And I've been trying to do that event for a few years now. And so that just gave me the validation and the incentive to hopefully do it more and in other places. And I mean, just carry that whole thing. And then the next day was the pro contest that went off as well.
It was amazing.
Didn't have the
girls are incredible.
There was a crowd, but it just didn't have the same crazy
nowhere
hype.
Near it.
But for sure, the girls' ribbon Sky was like far and away the winner of that.
I like Grace.
Grace is awesome.
She's my favorite female skateboarder. She's my favorite.
Good eggplants.
Excellent eggplant. I like was it Grace and Bryce. Bryce is the funny. She's just
Bryce has like mini ramp tricks.
On vert. Nose blunts.
Gnarly ones too. Like she went disaster to Smith and missed the Smith
and made it anyway.
Committed.
Yeah.
That is a one-way trip to the flat bottom on your head, usually.
Yeah, in like rainbow suspenders. It's a fun time, man. I was awesome. Like, I love this.
And then the big surprise was Edouard Damastoy from France, who Jimmy was the favorite, obviously. He had a couple
Wasn't
good
having a
runs,
good
but
day.
didn't have like the Jimmy thing happening. Still killed it, obviously, but Edward could not bail.
Yeah. And he had power coming out of his ears.
I mean, kickflip Indy 540 in his run. Not best trick, in his run.
Yeah. In a monster one. Like the most reality-based, hard, tough. His rodeos, he fell off on one where it was so much speed and so much power involved in it that when he got shook off, he flew from one side of the flat to the other and smacked into the wall. And I was like, these are the things you like. These don't last long right here. What you have, this power you have, rip into it.
He's in the zone.
Yeah.
He's got that pocket.
Every time he goes to the ramp, I want to be there right now.
Yeah, he definitely, I could tell when I saw him, I was like, oh, he's got that.
Yeah.
He's got that thing. He's in the pocket.
Yeah.
He could try almost anything and probably pull it off.
Right. Yeah.
There's a
frontside invert air to frontside invert. I know about air to eggplant, but air to frontside hand plant and Indy 720s and kickflip Indy 540s.
Oh yeah,
all into a really good style with fucking raw power. Where I was like, God, he looks like he needs softer wheels so that he can stay. Slow down. Because every time he lands, he's like, raw. Yeah. I'm like, damn, dude, I love this guy. I was pumped on it. Frazier was like, he's kind of like Tom Boyle. And I was like, yeah, I see the power there. He's also reminds me of Tuss a little bit with the crazy ability, and a lot of technical power.
And dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
When you're coming in backwards stuff where it's like, oh, that's risky.
Yeah. No, look, when you get to the highest level, when I was at my highest level, I went to the hospital all the time. That's why it didn't last that long. Like in the end, I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn it down a little bit because it was getting crazy. Like I remember people were pumped in England. Street skaters were coming over the ramp when I'd have my ride. But I just kept going to hospital, and I was like, "Oh man, like I'm never getting lucky on this."
You can't stay in the pocket. You gotta keep pushing it.
Yeah, and in the end, I think the pain and the painkillers. I was like, you got to turn it down a little bit, dude. Like every contest, you really need to supercharge it because it was all. I didn't know how to win. I only knew how to. It was a war. Everything to me is a war and a fight. You know, everyone's trying to fight me, so fucking it's on. All angry up there. I'm gonna fucking. I'm like, what are you? Skateboard trick, dude. I'm going to break the shit out of this skateboard trick. Like, what? But I hearing stories of Chris Miller. He told me that one time he was in a contest at what was the one that you won with the Vision ramp with the gray ramp? Skate Escape. He said
I didn't win, but yeah.
Oh, okay. You got ripped off. That's what that was. I can say it. I don't care. And I was a Christian fan, but fucking you did. Fuck off. Whatever. You have 3 tricks at the end of every ride back then where I was like, no one's done it, and no one's done it. It's kind of hard to beat that when he did a couple of back-to-back, no one's done it.
That was a fun event.
But Chris said that in his ride, because I was like, yeah, I didn't make it into the fight. He's like, no, I fell off. And I was like, what happened there? He's like, I was so angry. I was like, I fucking hate Magnuson. Like some beef happened with Tony, I guess.
Wow.
He was angry. And he said at one point he dropped in and as much speed as he could. And they did a front sit across the whole ramp and went, fuck! I'm just imagining Chris is such a nice person.
Oh, yeah.
Screaming fuck across the ramp at 100 mile an hour because he is a guy that can go fast. And if he was angry, it kind of suits it a little bit.
Oh, sure.
But it doesn't suit him because he's such a nice person.
Right.
But just knowing that those things sounded to me when he said that, it sounded like I wasn't there for it, but it sounded like the greatest frontside air ever done.
It probably was.
Because of my mindset.
It probably was. I agree with you. Because even his basic ones were legendary.
Right.
So, yeah.
And if you had to put like all his aggression
and
into
point it all the way, yes, it's going to be the best one.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
You got a point.
Yeah. And I always wanted to live like, when you pick up things like that, whether you pick them up, like I picked up the wrong, I was like, right, every trick I should do like that,
right.
I should just scream at all times.
They should all be over tweaked and that gets exhausting. That's hard. That's hard to keep up.
I'm so tired.
You got to be truly in the zone to make that happen every time.
Oh yeah. Okay. So when it's right, it's right.
When it's right. But if you try to force it, you're gonna end up bailing for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
So speaking of not being in the zone, we had the best trick after the men's finals, and I really wanted to get into best trick. I didn't have an exact plan of what I wanted to do, but I just knew that I wanted to skate because I wasn't going to, if I didn't jump in the ramp on Saturday, I wasn't going to be seen on the ramp at all. And I felt like at the very least, I want to skate a little bit because the crowd's there.
Yep.
And I don't know if they expect me to skate, but I feel a sense of obligation because my ramp is there. I brought the whole event. I had skated the day before. So I was like, I'll just jump into best trick. So Paul Zitzer and I are announcing and the finals are happening. They're on the last 4 runs. I'm putting my pads on like while we're announcing the runs. And finally there was maybe 2 or 3 runs left. And I said, Paul, you got this. I'm out. I'm going to go warm up. Like, cause I knew by the time I got on the ramp, everyone's going to be done.
Oh yeah.
But I could not get the rhythm. I just couldn't, I wasn't in the, I was too excited. I was too like, everything was just chaotic and hyper. And so when I got on the ramp, I just felt shaky.
Yeah.
And so I got one trick in. I did alley-oop frontside lip over the bridge, just so I could have something on the board or whatever. And then I don't know. I just started trying frontside cab reverts because I haven't done it in a long time. I've tested it here a lot, but I've never had the incentive to really make one. I made one in 1995 on the Encinitas, the YMCA metal vert ramp. Did you ever skate that with the bend? Blue, yeah. Yeah. So I made one
revert on that is
one
sketchy.
time. I don't even have it on video. I just shot a sequence because Dan Sturt was shooting me and I felt the pressure from Sturt to make it. So I made one.
He's good at that.
Anyway, I practiced it here a couple times, but never, like I said, didn't have the incentive. And then I was like, I'll just start trying it. But I just didn't have that rhythm.
Yeah.
And so I finally started to get it and started to put it on the wall and commit to a revert. The time was up by the time I got to that point.
Yeah.
And then they started giving out awards.
Okay, I'm the announcer, and your boy is telling me to end it, and I'm like, you didn't see how he made the 900? Like, they're still going. There's a couple guys here that want to keep going.
Because we were on a live feed. I understood. That was Jared. Jared he has every right to do that.
Right.
But at the same time, I knew that. Like, I knew.
No, they made me get on the flat, and then you just dropped in, and I was like, I'm getting off. Like, I'm not staying on here.
But you did me a favor because you moved the award ceremony to the edge of the flat.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't think you even realized you were doing that, but you gave me room in doing that.
Well, I got out of the way because I saw you drop in, and I was like, I'm not fucking standing over here. I know what you were trying to, and it ends up over where I am.
Yeah, it's a good chance I'm going off the ramp.
Yeah. If anything, right on the edge you're going. And they're like, go out there. And I'm like, you fucking go out there. Like, I knew you were going to make it, too. I was like, I could tell that he's not leaving.
It was funny, though. I started to feel like Kevin Costner in Tin Cup, where they're just like, oh, man. Like, just stop trying it. And so, because you guys gave the awards out, so then everything is officially over.
Yeah.
People are leaving.
Yeah, that's weird.
The live stream's over. I want to make one.
Yeah.
And finally I felt less pressure because it was like, well, I'm not trying to get in. I'm not trying to get it in, at least in the allotted time. I'm not trying to get it in during the live stream. Now I just have the ramp. And so there's less pressure, which actually made it easier to get to. And then, but probably 3 or 4 tries later, I was getting really tired. And I was like, this could be like a sad ending.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know, just like, everyone's already
If you had
gone.
eaten shit on it, that would have been because everyone.
I would have rather have eaten shit on it
than just not make it at all.
And
not try it.
Because that would at least give it like the justification. Well, I really gave it my all.
Okay.
I'm wrecked. I did get a couple of pretty good chicken neck whiplashes out of it. Anyway, long story short, finally made one. Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
exciting.
I was
Thank
right there. Usually I don't get video of anything, and it was the one time I pulled my phone out. I was like, I think he's got this one, and just fucking. I was like, holy sh. See you later, everybody. I just went to the fucking.
I want that video.
I was like, gotcha. It worked out perfect. Standing right there. I was like, that is fucking convenient.
Yeah. So
yeah, that was a fantastic
fun ending. A good event. Hope to do it again. The ramp's already back up here. That was days ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
The funny thing about that is right on that day. I think it was almost right after the event. I got a text, and this is going to another segue, but it does have something to do with it. I get a text from the dudes from Liquid Death.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey man, Lil Nas X wants to connect with you.
I remember you telling me that before you left.
And
I'm doing something with Lil Nas X.
Just like the whole he tweaking thing, it just happened. Yeah. And because I did the boards, that they put my blood in the graphics, and then he said something about, you guys weren't mad at Tony Hawk for doing that, but you're mad at me for doing that.
Right.
And
almost trying to put you in I'm not down with gay or black people almost. Or?
Well, it wasn't directed at me. It was just directed at people like, where is the outrage?
Right.
If there was all this outrage from mine.
Right.
And I get that. There's a great disparity in the the acceptance of it. What he didn't realize was I was getting plenty of hate from mine already. He just, it was just more that the media coverage of it was just like, hey, look at this. This is crazy. Instead of like bad news. But also he had it was like a copyright infringement with Nike, and there was all that
he did things you can't do. Yeah.
He was going all the way with
satanic. It's
you know what I mean?
real. I know.
Like it was whatever. It was shocking.
I know.
And so I understood all of it, but I just couldn't engage in it because obviously what he's talking about is more about his race and his sexuality.
Yeah.
And I totally respect what he's saying. And so I'm not going to defend myself. It was, and I got the idea truly from Kiss, because Kiss, did you know that?
No.
So when I was a kid, Kiss did a comic book and they gave their blood and they put it in the ink of the comic book. I thought it was the coolest thing.
Gene Simmons was ahead of his time.
In the world. I was like 9 or 10 years old when it happened, and I wanted one so badly. I wasn't going to get one, but I just thought it was cool. So that's my inspiration from it. I actually didn't really even know about his whole project until later on. Anyway, that all happened, and it was just kind of this weird, there was like a pseudo beef happening. Because he said, you're not mad about Tony, and then there was a rap feed that said something about it, and then he wrote, he tweaking, and then that exploded. I'm sure whoever's listening knows.
I'm tweaking sometimes, and I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah, it went all over the place. So anyway,
but he reached out to you guys.
So he reached out to me, and he's like, hey man, it'd be fun to do a collab thing. And I was like,
do you think he reached out to you to try and like make sure that he wasn't like making anything bad for you accidentally?
I think he's just, I think yes and no. I think that he saw an opportunity to do something fun.
Yeah.
That would be, that have attention on it.
Was he a cool guy?
He was awesome.
You guys have like a conversation?
So down with him. Yeah.
Awesome.
But so the what I'm saying is I got this text and they're like, hey man, Nas wants to shoot something, and I said, and I thought I'd have to come to LA because he's in LA, and I didn't think he'd be coming down here where the ramp is. And I was like, oh, I thought it'd be funny if we, this is what I just pitched to him. Like, it'd be funny if he and I just went and donated blood together.
That's a good idea.
And then but didn't know each other was
awesome
there,
idea.
where we're just like, oh, what's up? And they're like, yeah, usually he comes up with his own ideas, but he does love that idea. But he would rather do something where there's a whole TikTok trend where you change places with people and it's supposed to be the same person.
Wait, that's a thing that happens right now in TikTok? Because I just got told that I need to help. I need to boost my TikTok. And if I come up with any ideas, do it. And I was like, I don't know. I just watch TikTok. I don't post stuff.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. So he said he wants to do this TikTok thing.
Yeah.
On your ramp. And I'm looking at my ramp in Salt Lake City. He's like, he can only do it on Monday. And this is Saturday. And I just was like, I would love to do it, but I'm staring at my ramp right now and it's in Utah.
Yeah. And it ain't going to be
it's
together
not gonna be up
on Monday. Right.
It will be up on Tuesday.
Yeah. And he could make that.
Shocking that they can move it that quickly and put it up. That's thanks to all the staff here.
So instead you called Elliot.
So they said, is there another ramp we can do? I said, yeah, Elliot has a ramp. We could do it there. Sure. All right, he's down. 10 a.m. Monday. Okay.
And you just show up to Elliot's at 10 a.m. Monday with no plan.
Not really. I mean, I had a general idea. I brought my daughter because she was excited to meet him.
Yeah.
And he showed up. He was super cool, like the friendliest dude, and was down for whatever.
Is he pretty big?
He's 6'3".
He is, huh? He looked as tall as you.
At least he might be 6'4". But but the funny thing is that when we talked about doing the swap thing, I was like, wow, we're kind of the same build.
Whoa. Because when you were standing next to each other, I'm like, whoa, is he as tall as Tony?
Yeah.
I just imagined him to be smaller. I don't know why.
And so his idea was he's gonna intro, hey, I'm Lil Nas X, and I'm gonna bust some skate moves. And then I told him some terminology, but he kept forgetting them. So he's like, maybe some airs, some McTwists, or some twists or something. And he keeps doing it. And then I thought he would come with a whole video crew because he had this idea.
Yeah.
And he came with he came with a stylist because they had to bring matched clothes.
Yeah.
and his bodyguard, who was super cool, and his manager, but no one was really there to assign to do video.
So who did it?
He hands his phone to his manager, and he said, shoot this. And his manager's clearly fumbling with TikTok, like trying to do it, but
wait, not even recorded onto the phone, just directly to TikTok.
Directly to TikTok.
He got his manager to make the TikTok video.
Hold on. So he keeps trying to do it, and I want to make it good, and so it's got to be seamless, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to make it good, like match his body position, and also do a good run.
Yeah.
And after like 3 tries, his manager's just not getting us to match up. And finally, I'm like, you guys, my daughter is pretty masterful at TikTok.
Yeah.
She's on it a lot. I think you should ask her to do it. She's like, I'm not, like, she was trying to downplay it. She's like, I'm not that good. I'm like, you're better than anyone here.
Yeah.
So
that's for sure.
My daughter, Katie, grabs Lil Nas X's phone and
she
made that TikTok.
Stoked. Man,
and she killed it. She killed it with like matching our body position and ending it and stuff. It was pretty cool. She was really excited. And then he was doing shout outs to her friends for her on her phone.
Oh shit.
I was like super dad that day. It was pretty sick. It was fun.
Shout outs to the man. You can't get any cooler than that. I get that one.
It was funny because I know his music and I know his story generally.
Yeah.
But on the way there, Katie is turning me on to deep cuts.
Of his tracks that you don't know about? Oh, she knows a lot.
Yeah, no, she's a fan.
Okay.
And so she's like, oh, this song's funny. Wait, listen to this part. Listen to this. It was really cool.
So you got schooled in more.
I got schooled in his music.
Are you more impressed by him after listening to the deep tracks?
I'm more impressed with how creative he is.
All right.
Because I knew of his hits and I knew that they were unique for sure. I mean, he did a Western song. Like that's,
I didn't know that.
Old Country Road.
Oh, he did?
You know that song?
No.
That's like the biggest thing ever.
I don't listen to it.
I just knew of it because it's like one of the biggest things.
Dude,
that's
I listen to
happened
Sam
in music.
Cooke and like I've gone backwards.
Okay.
I listen to like stuff from the 60s that are just like
awesome.
All black guys. It's all and girls. Did you know who? I didn't even know who was it Betty Davis? Not the actress. There's a singer.
No.
Betty Davis. And she dated like a lot of the heavy hitters, Jimi Hendrixes and stuff like that. And she's it's like funky
soul singer.
Yeah. And she's just wild, like a crazy lady.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I only just discovered her. She only had like an album or 2 before she passed away because she was a maniac. But
that was going on.
I was like, wow, this just some.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Love that stuff.
Anyway, that whole thing. And so just to sum it up, Dave Swift, who's a legendary skate photographer, was there on behalf of Liquid Death. And he was shooting photos of us, and his crew was like, when can you give us those photos? And Dave's like, oh, I'll go home in like hour or 2. Like when do you plan on posting? And Liz and I was like, this is going
right now.
Yeah, like this is going. When I get in the car, this is
kids, man.
This is flying.
The new Isn't that funny to know like how we work and how he works? He's like, no, it's immediate. Everything we do is immediate.
Oh, this is happening.
We're like, Swift's from another.
We're like, we need to edit it, and we need to go, like, when are we dropping this? We're gonna announce it. He's just like, no, here it goes.
I didn't do that.
And then it blew up for sure. Swift got the photos and whatnot. But the cool part, at the very end, his stylist was kind of whispering. I could just tell something was going on. He was like, yes. He's just like, I don't know. And then finally he's like, hey, you can't wear other shoes, right? Like the other Vans. And I was like, well, nah, not to skate in, no. And he's like, well, because I give you a pair of my Nikes. And I was like, oh, I would very much like a pair of your Nikes.
Yes.
For a collection. Yeah. And he's like, all right, cool, they're yours. And he gave me the one of 666 pair.
Oh, you motherfucker.
I got them.
You gonna wear them?
No.
Oh man, I would.
No, you know what I did?
What?
I immediately went to eBay and bought the Kiss comic book signed by Kiss. So I got the blood collection.
Look at you.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting.
I might sell Ellis Mania tickets with my blood on them.
just splatter it, actually, not in the ink, just splatter each one.
Yeah, just.
But it was funny, is like, I know people were, whatever, there's all this. people are up in arms. They're like, it's satanic and just whatever, just the blood thing. And I was like, do you know how many skateboards I've bled on unintentionally, including yesterday?
Yeah, we're talking like we can bleed. I'll probably bleed right now.
It's not a big deal. It's not that stretch. It's not some cult worship thing. I just thought it was a cool thing because Kiss did it.
Yeah, everybody needs to let go of that, but at the same time, hold on to it because it makes the hype be almost real. It does. Like people are like,
hold on to it.
Evil's blood stuff. And I'm like, well, now you're all talking about it.
Yeah. It's, you know what? The same thing, but I've lived through that with all the Bones Brigade graphics as a kid.
Wait, you had blood in the Bones Brigade?
No. But everything was just like, it's death and it's satanic.
Oh, because the skulls and
all
stuff.
All the skulls, yeah. And I was like, I just think they're cool. But it wasn't up to me. It was Stacy and George.
I was going to say.
But I already lived through that sort of narrative where people, they focus in on something and they're just like, because it can't all be flowers and rainbows.
Yeah, you know what's evil? People trying to stop everybody else from living their life and they're not hurting anybody.
That's the most evil part of it.
It is. And a lot of you come from claiming the good when you're doing that too. Just real quick, Hawk versus Wolf t-shirts, you can get them at wolfknifeshop.com. I really like them. And no, you can't have one. Yeah, I thought I like the t-shirt. I think it'd be weird if you wore it, but I can wear it. It wouldn't make any sense because you got.
It's hard for me to wear stuff that says Hawk.
I get it. Mike McGill can do it, but you can't.
I don't know. I can't.
Mike McGill ruined that for me for the rest of my life. Like Mike McGill with the Mike McGill board and a Mike McGill t-shirt, skating, where I was like, really? And then when I turned pro, and they're like, "Here's your board and your wheels."
I remember the moment where I decided I couldn't wear my name on my shirt anymore. It was at one of the Houston contests, like Shut Up and Skate contests, and we were all Cab, me, McGill, Lance. We all had we had new graphics, I think, or new shirts, and so we all were kind of.
Did Stacy tell you to do that?
Well, it was just kind of suggested that we wear our new shirts. And I was like, I go, what if we just all wore each other's? And Lance is like, yeah, let's do that.
Lance would say that.
Yeah. And then after that, I was like, that was much more enjoyable. I don't feel self-conscious about it. And I'm down with that. I'm good.
Isn't it weird? Like all the work you put in like obviously people that never skateboarded, you don't care about having a pro model on a skateboard but for skateboarders, it's like one of the, the quests of life. Like if you make it to there, it's like you've fucking done it. You've done all the things that there was to do in life.
That's the main goal.
Right.
If you're trying to make a career.
And as soon as you get it, you can't put it on you anywhere near you because it's fucking not cool, man. What do you love yourself? Yeah. How do you think I got this good?
A couple of my graphics have my name pretty big, prominently.
Yeah.
And I almost always cover it with a sticker because I'm walking through airports with my skateboard. And it's just like, hey, is that? Oh, yeah, I guess it is. Name tag. What's up?
You get hated on for having
Oh, yeah. And there's the whole meme. Nowadays, now here's the thing. When I go to a guy just flew in from Salt Lake City, at least 2 to 3 times is, hey, man, anyone tell you look like Tony Hawk?
Still?
No. They say it in a way that
they're onto the joke.
They're onto it.
Good.
But that is probably more what I get now. I mean, I still get people that do the thing and, you can't recognize Anthony as Tony and there's a funny interaction. Yeah. But there's that whole thing that happens a lot now at our restaurants or whatnot. And so my new thing is like, is anyone tell you look at Tony? I'm like, yes, but you're the first today.
Nice.
But now it's become, yes, but you're the 4th today.
Right, because there is a line. I skateboarded in the Utah airport because of you. As I see you do it, and I always thought like, yes, I was walking in there and I was really tired. I went and saw Ken Block and hung out, but I was pretty burnt out from the training that I did before I skated, before I announced 2 different days and then hung out with you that night. I was so burnt out, but I was like, man, I don't want to walk anymore.
Terminals are awesome because it's the smooth,
so smooth
marble,
and soft, and no one hears you.
And you don't hear unless you go over those little.
You got to watch
strips.
those little things.
Yeah, and then you make a loud noise.
Yeah, but I was like, I see him do it all the time. But what made me realize that when I started to do it, it does attract a little attention. And I thought to myself, wow, imagine if I was Tony Hawk right now skating down here. Everyone's like, that is for sure him, and he's doing the thing that we know him to do. Like,
but the funny thing about that is, by the time they realize it,
you're gone.
You're gone.
Nice.
So far gone.
So you avoid the right.
I mean, I'm happy to meet people and whatever, but in those moments, I see it happen. Like, hey, man, let me get stuff. Hey, he's gone.
All right.
He's in Terminal B.
Yeah, but boy, are those things convenient, the old skateboard.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long time, man. Like I skateboard now, but now because I skateboard, I have my skateboard with me.
Especially in the days of when COVID is still rampant, obviously, but when no one was really traveling, you could blaze through airports.
Oh, because you were still going.
No one was there and no security cared. It was just like, that dude's jamming. Check it out.
Did you know if you want to fly back to Australia and you're born in Australia, that a ticket for economy is $20,000?
Why? Don't you still have to do 2-week quarantine too?
Yeah, and you have to pay $20,000 for your ticket to go home.
Is that because the price is built into the quarantine costs?
I don't know. Dingo just told me that all those snowboard guys that went back had to spend $20 grand each on their ticket home. And
That's
then
almost how much Australia would be paying them to win gold medals.
From what I heard, I know, right? The airline is like, fuck, we're not taking the hit. You are. So, because he said that Dingo said there's only like 10 people in the plane.
Okay, I get it. I understand.
So there's like a bunch of area that you have to yourself, but it costs $20,000.
Okay, yeah, because the flights are so thin. Oh, that's wild.
Some bullshit.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, I feel sorry for them.
Wow.
Shout out to the Aussies. Hang in there, boys and girls. All right. Thanks everybody for listening. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Spread the word. We'll be back. Recognize.
I
don't know. Sorry. Recognize.
Like and describe. Describe how good it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Describe to your friends.
Describe it to your friends.
Oh, shit.